Well, I'm 2 weeks into my clover planting at this point, and I'm happy to report that it's sprouting all over the place. Little tiny plants, just starting. Hopefully they'll grow. Got lots of deer tracks out here, and everything's looking really good. All right, well, we're at our 6-week mark here with this clover that I planted, and I'm very impressed. Things are going great. I would say that every single seed sprouted. It's amazing. Everything's green out behind me. It's all about varying from 3, 4, maybe 6 inches tall in some spots. Doing good. We've had a dry spell here though, and we haven't had any water for a while, so we'll see how it does during the dryness. But I got lots of deer tracks out here, and I'm going to get some trail cameras set up pretty soon so we can get a good idea of what's going on. So far, very impressed. 6 weeks. Well, phase 2 of our 6-week checkup here. This little area out behind me here, I planted a bunch of different trial packages, different products, and pretty much only the broadleaf things are growing. It's kind of sparsely, but they are here. Lots of deer tracks in this area. So I just seeded this with some of the Whitetail Institute winter greens. We're gonna grow some of that broadleaf mixture and see how it comes up, and try to get an idea whether or not the deer in this area like it. All right, so we're 12 weeks in at this point of my into my food plot project this year, and overall things are going pretty good. The clover hasn't grown as tall as I would like, but it's definitely thick. A few weeds in it, but not too bad. Pretty good clover crop, we'll say. All right, so the clover's doing really well overall. The back half of this food plot, I wasn't sure exactly what I wanted to put in there. I finally decided I was going to try to plant some corn, and that didn't grow at all. Like maybe 10 stalks of corn grew. And so as I was waiting on that to grow, it filled with weeds, and I just sprayed the weeds and overseeded the area with a combination of the clover and also the winter greens kind of mixed together. The winter greens really are doing well in my my test plot area that I have off the side of this. Lots of broadleaf plants growing there, and I'm eager to see what kind of draw those have later in the season. I know last year I had the turnips out here, and the deer didn't hit them at all in the winter, not at all. Tons of turnips got pushed up this spring out here, and nothing ate them. So I guess that's it for right now, and we're gonna see what happens once archery season starts. Hopefully we'll get a shot at something out here, or at least get some cool deer activity going on. Well, today's the last day of the muzzleloader season here in Michigan, and I was just taking a walk around my property this morning because we've got some fresh snow, just to see what kind of deer activity there is right now. We had a pretty tough year. We did not harvest anything off this property. We didn't see very many deer to harvest. Trail cameras didn't pick up a whole lot in the food plot, but at this point the food plot is attracting some deer. So the products that we planted, they grew great. I couldn't be happier with that. We had the Imperial Clover on half of it, and ended up with the winter greens on the other half, and winter greens got real tall, real big. They're sticking up through the snow, and they're getting a little attention right now, but the clover's still getting more attention. The deer have been out here in the snow digging up the clover and eating that. You can see a little bit where they've been munching on the big leaves of the winter greens mix there. I did have some turnip seeds left over from last year that I planted on another part just to see what happened over there, and I got some decent turnip growth, but the deer are completely ignoring them. They've ignored them all year, so I'm done with that. The trail cameras showed us a few deer, not when we were out here this season. 2 different bucks, a 1.5-year-old 6-point and a 2.5-year-old 7-point. The 7 looked pretty nice. I think he was that 3-point that made it through from last year, actually. I would have shot him if I could have seen him, but didn't happen. Pretty happy overall with the way that this food plot turned out. It's been a tough year hunting. It's been a tough year for most of the people that I know to find deer, so it doesn't surprise me that they're not on my little 13-acre piece here, surrounded by houses. But At the same time, I've got some great habitat. They're using the cover now. They're using the food. I'm going to monitor them this winter to try to see where they're coming onto the property, because they kind of come on from all over right now. But see if some trails develop, and maybe we'll rearrange for next year. Speaking of next year, we're going to put a food plot over on my hill next year. Got an area that I like to keep mowed over there, and realistically, as far as deer hunting goes, it's serving no purpose right now. It's not serving a purpose of food. It's not serving the purpose of cover, because I'm keeping it mowed. So I'm going to convert that to food next year and see if we can get a little bit more activity there. And another property that I hunt over on the river, we're going to try to get some food growing down there too. So it's a big project, man. I'll tell you straight up, I miss running feeders. I liked running feeders a lot better than trying to mess with this food plot stuff. Here's my feelings on it. I think that food plots are great if you have deer on the property. I think that it'll feed them. If you don't have deer on the property, it's not going to attract them to the property, my experience. However, if I run a feeder, I can pull deer onto the property even if they're not here. So take that for what it's worth. I've got 4 feeders sitting in my garage that I can't use because they're illegal now. That's too bad. So we're going to put some work in next spring. We're going to try to get a couple more food plots established in some other places and see if we can up our deer activity a little bit. And until then, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.